about the visit of the Lebanon President Joseph Raoun at Ittihadiyya Palace, and how President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the President Lebanon Joseph Raoun make a press conference, an important press conference, and discuss ways to strengthen the bilateral relations, especially in the economic infrastructure.
Yes, and in this regard, we're very delighted to welcome over the phone with us Ambassador Hussein Haridi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mara.
We're very happy to have you with us in the breakfast show. And talking about this prominent visit, and given the long-standing diplomatic ties since Lebanon's independence in 1943, and the long relation between Egypt and Lebanon for over 80 years. My question to you, how did you see this visit aim to actually build upon this very long relation, especially considering their shared roles in the Arab League since its founding in 1945?
Well, I guess the meeting between President el-Sisi and the newly elected Lebanese President, Mr. President Joseph Aoun, is a testimony to the solid relationships that Egypt and Lebanon on the one hand, and on the other hand, it incarnates the firm and full support that Egypt has lent in lately to the transition in Lebanon, because Lebanon is passing through a transitional stage, and we, when the National Assembly of Lebanon, at long last, after 2 years of the vacancy of the office of the President of Lebanon, when the National Assembly of Lebanon elected President Joseph Aoun, Egypt was among the first countries to congratulate not only the President himself in person, but Lebanon, because Egypt has always called for this transitional stage, whether we are speaking about the economy, public finance, and or politically, and of course on the regional scale. So the meeting yesterday between President el-Sisi and the Lebanese President was, of course, showed the full support that Egypt is lending to Lebanon in this stage.
Yes, of course, and we're talking about trade between Egypt and Lebanon reaching approximately to $600 million in 2024. My question to you is, what economic or what new economic initiatives did the two presidents discuss to actually expand these ties?
Well, as far as the trade is concerned between Lebanon and Egypt, of course, it's up to the ministries concerned and the ministers concerned to discuss this. But as I understand, the volume of trade between the two countries has reached almost $1 billion, and the trade balance is in favor of Egypt. I understand that we have exported more than $600 million worth of goods to Lebanon. But when it comes to the summit, the Egyptian-Lebanese summit, I guess that the main topics were mainly political and regional matters. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear us?
I answered your question. Have you?
Yes, you didn't hear us?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Once I finished my answer, I was expecting a reaction on your part, but
yes, we couldn't hear you. We're very sorry. Okay. And we're talking about Egypt, how does Egypt actually position as one of the top Arab investors in Lebanon, with investments actually exceeding $1.2 billion in different sectors like banking, construction, and also food processing? How does this actually reflect on the strategic importance of economic cooperation discussed during the president's visit?
Well, I wish I was an expert in trade issues and the economy, madam. But of course, generally speaking, I guess there is a will on both sides to increase the volume of trade between the two countries and to encourage whether Egyptian investments in Lebanon or Lebanese investments in Egypt. I understand that there are there have been Lebanese businessmen who have been doing business in Egypt. We appreciate, of course, their efforts, and in the context of the government policies of encouraging investment, I guess they have full support on the part of the Egyptian government. When it comes to trade and the economy, I guess that there is no doubt that the two countries would like to see more of that in the future.
Of course, of course. And what are the key political roles or the key highlights that were discussed also during this meeting?
Would you please repeat that?
What other highlights were, what other things that were discussed or topics that were discussed during this meeting?
Well, I guess the main topic, of course, is the implementation of the ceasefire agreement that was signed back in November 2024, and whereby the Israeli forces should withdraw from Lebanon, as we understand. So I guess this is what the main issue is.
Yes, of course, and actually they also talked about the Syrian refugees. So could you tell us about their stance regarding the relocation or the how the Syrian refugees should be going back to their country safely?
No, I would say this is, madam, I would say that this is a bilateral question between Lebanon and Syria, and of course Egypt of course would like the two countries to reach an agreement on as far as this issue is concerned.
Are there actually any upcoming joint investment projects or industrial partnerships between Egypt and Lebanon?
Well, theoretically speaking, I guess the will is there, and I have no doubt Egyptian investors would be highly interested in going to Lebanon and have investments there.
Ambassador Hussein Haridi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for your valuable insights regarding President Joseph Aoun's visit to Egypt with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Dear viewers, a short break and we'll be right back.